Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily story with a chapter from one of my novellas. Before I start today's chapter, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this book and any of my other fiction, then they're all available from all major ebook retailers. You can order the paperback and hardback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore and local library if you requested. Also, if you want the AI generated audiobook, then you can get it from selected audiobook platforms and library systems like Kobo, Spotify, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Baker & Taylor, Biblioteca and Overdrive. Now, here's today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it.
Chapter 2. As much as Joshua Evans loved studying psychology, getting involved in research, and helping to advance human understanding when it came to behavior, he really wasn't sure about his university's bright idea about sending him to Kent University for 2 weeks to do a research project. Joshua was normally so calm, confident and collected, but as he sat on a warm wooden chair in some PhD student's office with bright white walls, 2 wooden desks, and an entire wall made of bookcases, he was really nervous. He felt cold sweat drip down his back and his hands were moist. He hadn't been this nervous for years, not since his university interview for his course. Granted, his own university was only a 20-minute drive away, but Kent University was the best of the best. It was famous for its psychology research, and from everything he had seen on campus, the rumors about all the hot women weren't lies. He was really looking forward to talking and seeing and hopefully flirting with some of the women later on. The only part of the room that was even remotely remarkable was a strange African bird statue in one corner, and Joshua seriously couldn't understand it. He had always liked sculptures, and all the girls he had been friends with at secondary school were into art and jewelry and paintings, and Joshua had helped them out then, but he just couldn't understand this statue. It was made from a strange blackwood with little cuts and grooves, creating a stunning human-sized bird design. He had no idea why a PhD student would actually want that thing in their office. It was so ugly, but the rest of it was great. The little hints of tomatoes, pasta and cheese that softly clung to the air made Joshua smile, because if the PhD student he was working with liked pasta as much as he did, then he knew they were going to get on great. He was really looking forward to this opportunity. Joshua was waiting for Stephen Baker to come back from getting the 2 of them a cup of coffee each. Stephen seemed like a good student, a great guy, and someone he could easily work with over the next 2 weeks. But he supposed he was nervous about meeting the other student he was going to be working with. He had never liked meeting other students because he always felt so inferior to them. His grades were never quite as high as theirs, and his parents were never happy unless he got top marks. But Joshua just wasn't a first-class student, and he didn't want to be. He had met first-class students, and all they did was spend time in their room studying. They lived and breathed their course, and Joshua had no problem with that if they wanted to. It just wasn't him. He wanted a life. He wanted to meet a cute girl and do amazing things with his life besides from studying. University was about having fun and learning new skills and experiences that you just wouldn't get outside of university. It was why he had taken his research opportunity after all. Here you go. The sweet, wonderful aromas of strong but milky coffee filled the air as Stephen passed Joshua a large red cup. He liked the warmth that pulsed through him, and then he heard other footsteps coming back towards the office. Stephen sat down, and Joshua had to admit, even though he was straight as the next man, Stephen did look great. He was tall, well muscular, and he probably had a great six-pack under his tight white shirt. The women probably loved him at the university, and Joshua supposed a few men might like him too, but he had no idea about men liking men. And Joshua couldn't deny that the small slight beard Stephen had really made him even more attractive and manly. Joshua had wondered a few times himself about growing a very minor beard, but he just couldn't get over the first few days of not shaving. He knew he was weird, but he just felt like he had a fat face if he didn't shave regularly. His ex-girlfriends had laughed at him, but Joshua knew he was right and had every right to feel how he did. "We're just waiting for," Stephen said before getting up and going over to them. "Hello, how are you?" a man asked, but Joshua didn't turn around, and all his fears, concerns, and anxiety flared up as he didn't want the new student to be better than him. "I'm good, thanks, mate." "You are a lifesaver for doing this for me," Stephen said. Joshua forced himself to turn around, and he was shocked. The tall, slim man walking in was cute, like seriously cute. Joshua had no idea what was happening to him, but he could feel his confidence returning. He felt so relaxed, and his stomach felt strange. It just couldn't be attraction, because Joshua was as straight as both the other men in the office. Yet he couldn't deny that there was something so luring, relaxing, and cute about this new man. It could have been how slim he was without a gram of fat on his beautiful frame. He was a lot taller than Joshua, and it showed his long limbs and looked so elegant as the new man walked over and stood next to him. And the new man's face was very nice too. Joshua liked how smooth it was. There were a few freckles, but they only enhanced the natural beauty of the man's deep blue sapphire eyes that shone like suns in the dimness of the room. Or maybe the office wasn't dim, the new man was just so bright. His stomach ached again. Joshua shook his head because he wasn't attracted to men. He just couldn't be. He loved women and only women. Women were hot, sexy, and they were amazing in bed. Men couldn't be any of those things, could they? "Thank you both for coming," Stephen Baker said as he sat down, and Joshua realized he wasn't sure if he could survive 2 weeks with a man that made him feel so many weird and oddly wonderful feelings. But he had to try.
Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.